I need you to clap. I don't know what we say at the start. Right, we're going. Okay. So we've just been watching. Gee, you're clapping too much now.
Sorry.
So we've just finished watching Chelsea versus Norwich.
God.
Let's be honest, it's a bit of a bore fest. But yeah, I'm just looking at the remaining fixtures of Chelsea, Leicester, Man United. Chelsea have just got Liverpool and Wolves to play.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think Liverpool will be a struggle, but I think they've got too much for Wolves at home. Leicester in fourth. They've got Sheffield United, Tottenham and United to play, Man United.
Yeah.
That looks a hard run into me.
Yeah.
And then in Manchester United, who are in fifth. They dropped points last night, but looking at it, you've got Crystal Palace, West Ham United at home, Leicester away. How do you see it playing out?
Just touching on last night first and foremost, United look dangerous under Solskjaer at the moment. Dangerous. A bit sloppy in the defence in the back end of it, the half. Last 5 to 7 minutes it was Southampton's game, but a good team. I can see them handling the running quite well, to be perfectly honest. I think out of the 3 teams, I think they're playing the best football at the moment. I understand they didn't pick up points the other day, but yeah, City lost against Southampton. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think in reference to Man United, I think out of the 3, they're the team that I see next year potentially pushing
Definitely.
City and Liverpool the most.
Definitely.
I think they need a few more. I think they need a right. I think Sancho, put him in that team. It improves it.
I think Chelsea's team's going to be the team in a few years. Next season, I think they'll all need to bed in, play a season with each other. So I think they will be dangerous and they'll be good under Frank. But I don't think they'll be the team next season. I think United will spend big. They got the resources. I can see them pushing. I can see Liverpool dropping off a pace. I can see City spending hard in the summer, but I can also see, like you say, United coming through there.
My big thing with Chelsea is they've made some big signings, but they've had players this year that have come through, like your Mason Mount. Where does he get in the team? Tammy Abraham, does he now lose all his game time? What happens to Callum Hudson-Odoi? And I think, where do these players now fit into that team with the signing of Werner?
Let me throw a spanner into the works then, because Chelsea are signing all these good young players, good foreign players. Out of England's young cams, how are you rating them? You got Foden, Grealish, Maddison. You got quite a few players there, all fighting for that same position. Why aren't Chelsea going out and signing any of those?
I think Mount's is probably their answer to maybe their Foden-like player. For me, he's good. He's a little bit. I'd like to see more out of him. I don't think he's at the level of maybe, as you say, your Maddison, your Grealish. Definitely not your Fodens. And I still think he's got quite a bit to improve. The other one I want to talk about is Leicester.
Okay.
Now, it wasn't too long ago. It was around Christmas time where Leicester were actually second, and they were the main title challengers.
Yeah. I think personally that Leicester only are ever in those positions when all the other big teams aren't performing. If you look at the level of points that Leicester have when they're ever either A, when they won the league, or B, when they came second, it's always a really low points tally that season, and I think that plays a big factor. That's something you've got to look at as an extrinsic factor for Leicester as potential title challengers. Would they have won that if the teams all played as well as they are now? No, I don't think so.
My main thing with Leicester is kind of the point I was making before, is they were on the 25th of December, they were 10 points behind Liverpool in second, 4 points ahead of Man City. To many, can they beat Liverpool to the title? The question is, since the lockdown, I can see they've drawn with Brighton at home, away at Arsenal. They've lost to Bournemouth. Games where you'd expect a team that was seen as a challenge for the title, to pick up points. My point is, do you think they were overperforming before, or are they now underperforming, or And the other thing that I was thinking as well, this is kind of a two-part question, is Brendan Rodgers. Obviously, with Liverpool, you had the season where he was going to win the league. Gerrard slipped.
Yeah.
Now you had they were going to get the Champions League. It looks like they're going to flop. Is it a Brendan Rodgers thing? Could you say in a way he's a bit of a bottler? What's your idea?
I don't believe so. I personally rate Brendan very highly. Okay, I'm a City fan, so if Pep was to go, one of the managers who would be on my shortlist would be Brendan Rodgers. Look at the last 7, 8 years. Everywhere Brendan's been, Liverpool, he did a job there when they were never expected to win the league. He went up to, like you say, only Steven Gerrard. He went up to Celtic. Did the treble. Insane. Came down to Leicester, as pulled them up from. Remember where they were before they signed Rodgers. Just remember what sort of team Leicester were. I know what under any area they won the league. Obviously, big season. But after that, Leicester started playing at the more of a level where you expected Leicester to play. I mean, still way above where they should have played for a team who 2 seasons prior were on the brink of relegation. But they were 7th, 8th, that sort of position. Mid-table, never threat. Brendan came in. Boom. The Brendan effect. He has it everywhere. Great manager.
I mean, I get that, but my counter argument would be at Liverpool. How much was Gerrard running that team and trying to win the title? And then the second point to that is, whilst this could offend a few of the SPL fans, I honestly don't think it's too hard to go up to the SPL and win the league with Celtic, especially when there's no Rangers.
I think the treble, definitely. I think managing a team so that you are in every competition throughout the season and getting to the final and winning every domestic competition throughout the season is probably the ultimate feat of managerial prowess. I mean, just managing a team, on a cyclical basis, changing people around, making substitutions, that sort of stuff, regularly keeping a team fit, healthy, engaged in every single game, in every single competition, winning everything. Some of those being knockout games. I think that's something to brag about, irrespective of what league you're doing it in.
Okay, so how many players do you think Leicester needs to sign in the summer to have a real? And what do you think is a good season for Leicester next year?
I think anyone in that top 4 who goes out and spends the biggest. I think there's a few teams, Liverpool granted off this season, miles in front of everybody. Miles in front. But I think next season you'll see a different Liverpool. African Cup of Nations, Mane goes, Salah goes. There's 2 of the linchpins. I've said since day dot, if they lose Mane or they lose Salah out of that front 3, not so much Firmino, but it does happen when Firmino's out, they're a much, much poorer team. Okay, you can take Sterling out of City, you'll still have Mahrez, you'll still have Bernardo on the wings, you would have had Sane. You take either of them pair out and you are stuffed. We're going to lose them for about a month and a half. So I think they're going to come down a couple of levels. I think City are going to be up there again. I think, like you say, United's going to be up there. I think whoever goes out there and signs the best players, so a world-class centre-forward, so an Mbappe and a Sancho, somebody of that sort of prowess, then I think that's what will tip it to win the league. I think whoever goes out and spends the biggest and gets the biggest stars in the window wins the league. Simple as
that. Right.
Thanks for watching again, guys. It's been another good episode.
I'd love it if you could give it a like. What did you say last time? Ring the bell.
Not as camp this time.
But yeah. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.
Do we end on a clap?
No, we have to ask them to sub.
Oh, please sub. Or do I say sub now and then clap? Please sub.
She would send it.